For those that are just tuning in, this is the Watchful Citizen. It's a show sponsored by the Lancaster County Democratic Party. I'm Jim Johnson. This is Jeff Kirkpatrick, and we're talking about the county convention that's this Sunday, June 8th, at Pershing, beginning at 2 o'clock. And okay, so here's the opposite questions. I asked about somebody who's shy. How about if I would really like to get out and help and maybe be a guide or whatever? How would I get in touch with somebody that could help me?
Well, I would think if you could email to the county party, go on the Lancaster County Democratic website,
which is lancastercountydemocrats.org, correct?
And email there and say, I'm planning on being there June 8th. I can be there at 12:30. I can be there before 12:30 to help organize. We are still looking for some legislative district chairs. We're looking for some associate chairs. One of our goals is to not just have, okay, you're the person to run the Clinton folks for Legislative District 21. We want to have a number of people, so you have some co-chairs, you have some associate chairs, not only for if somebody doesn't show up, but also so we have that core group of people that are very comfortable with what the schedule is going to be like, what our jobs and responsibilities are going to be to accomplish that afternoon, and to help make sure everything runs smoothly. So if you're at all interested, whether this is your 5th county convention or your 1st county convention, one of the easiest ways to get involved is to email the county party, and somebody will be contacting you. And we're all going to have a training session Sunday morning for those people that want to be involved helping with the county convention. And there'll be some jobs as far as registration where we can put people to work, and that would be great if we can get some more people to help out.
Oh, great. Let's see. Is there any other a subject you want to talk about that you can think of?
Well, I would urge people not only to plan on going to the county convention, but to be thinking about going to the state convention.
Okay.
Fremont, that I've been a number of years. It's always a lot of fun. You will get candidates speaking like Scott Clapp. You know, who could be more exciting as far as a speaker than Scott Clapp? And I'm sure that he will be there. He'll be speaking to the convention. I know just 2 years ago when we had the state convention out in Grand Island, I thought one of the best political speeches I'd ever heard. Some people might disagree with me on that, but I was very impressed with Jim Esch, who was the candidate 2 years ago running against Lee Terry. I think surprised everybody, certainly surprised Lee Terry, but even a lot of very knowledgeable Democrats were surprised by how close a race he ran. He's back this year for a rematch. I'm sure that he will be at the state convention. Here's an opportunity. We don't get a chance to vote for him, but this will be a chance for us to hear what he has to say. And excellent speaker there. Max Yashwin will be there again. I have an opportunity to speak to the whole convention. I think it'll be a chance at the state convention not only meet good Democrats from Lancaster County like we will on June 8th, but Democrats all over the state, from Chadron to Omaha to South Sioux City to Beatrice. They'll all be at the state convention. So it's a chance to meet new people or see old friends, and it's an enjoyable time. It's not politics, politics, politics. We will do, have a platform debate like we do. We'll elect state officers like we do. We'll hear from candidates, but we'll also have time just to have some good fun and meet people that believe in the same things that we do, protecting the environment and having a safe and sane foreign policy, that believe in good government, the hallmark of the Democratic Party. So it's just a great time to go up to Fremont this year and get to know some people and talk some politics and hang around people that believe in the things that you do and have the same values that you do. So I would encourage people that the 20th through the 22nd, if you can go for all or most of the convention, to really think pretty seriously about doing that. In part, of course, because this is an historic year. This is a year that we have a chance to end the Bush administration and put a Democrat in the White House. And we're going to see some very exciting things in the next 4 years with a Democrat in the White House. And what can we do to say, hey, I was part of that? Well, we can be active in the Democratic Party. We can campaign here in Nebraska for that Democratic presidential candidate. We can try to put another Democrat in the Senate to help that Democratic president out, put some more Democrats in the House of Representatives. There's no question that when you look around the country and you look at the kind of candidates the Democratic Party has, and the fact that we've won the last 3 runoff elections in very Republican congressional districts, all have been won by Democrats, and you look at the fact that people all across this country have finally woken up to George Bush and the kind of president that he has been. And when you look at the fact that even his own former press secretary is talking about the fact that, you know, he doesn't really listen to people and he doesn't really think very deeply about the kinds of things that he does. Well, Americans are paying attention to that. Nebraskans are paying attention to that. And then when you look at the fact that, you know, they're going to nominate John McCain, who's really John McBush. It's the third term of George Bush. There's really no reflection and no saying, boy, we messed this up. Boy, we need to have a policy on the national level that values people and gives them the tools that they need to become educated, to succeed, and to become empowered. There's nothing about that from George McCain. And there's nothing new as far as the Middle East. You know, his answer is, I guess we got to keep sending American men and women over there to get killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's no new ideas from John McCain. There's no change there. And I think when people look at the fact that George Bush has been a disaster, clearly and historically a disaster, and that John McCain offers only more of the same, and we, on the other hand, have exciting and historic candidates, it's going to be a Democratic cure. The only question is how democratic it's going to be. And that really comes down to Democrats like you and I on the local level, what we do, how active we are, and how well we do the job of explaining to our friends and neighbors how important it is for them to vote for good candidates and for them to understand the basic issues.